The Maimati administration has recently borrowed $40 million from the Jamaican Development Bank for education. We want to know what was the issue of the tax and will be connected to this loan. Is the Jamaican Development Bank now the captain of the ship in terms of our education of our children? Because, from what I've heard, the minister claims to have proposed many of the questions, but yet the test was still there. We know that the Jamaican Development Bank cannot invite itself into our education institutions. They had to be authorized. Who authorized this? Importantly, who signed off on the Jamaican Development Bank agreement to test our children? And very importantly, when did the Prime Minister know about this situation? But we've all been told the story, this so-called science test. We've seen apologies flying from every corner of the government, Prime Minister in particular, the Chief Education Officer. But we have not heard from the substantive minister as yet. Is Ms. Mukhani still in hiding? When do we expect to hear from the substantive minister? If we are very clear, under the law, under the Education Act, the functions of the Minister of Education are to promote the education of the people of Barbados and to establish and develop institutions of that purpose. Effectively, the Minister has to contribute under the Education Act to the spiritual, moral, mental, physical, social, cultural, and economic development of our community and of Barbadians. Therefore, it is the duty of the Minister to safeguard our children and to provide sound and stable education for all. The Minister appears to have failed in that duty. And again, on behalf of all Barbadians and all parents, I call on the Minister to answer us, to be held accountable to us. If the Minister is not accountable to us, who is the Minister accountable to? And furthermore, the onus must also be on the Prime Minister to demand that the Minister come out and speak to Barbadians. Now, I saw that the Prime Minister wants to set up an ethics review committee. To ensure what? Another committee? How many committees do we have? We had a committee for NIS, we had a committee for the tourism slogan, we had a bird review committee, we had a digitalization of the port committee, we had an advisory committee on food prices, we have an advisory committee on an advisory committee. When will this stop? The Prime Minister constantly finds time to send direct messages to world leaders and parade on the national stage, trying to solve national problems, but cannot make time to issue a urgent statement concerning our children and their future. It is most disheartening, given that the Prime Minister was once the Minister of Education and also the Minister of Youth, and would understand the urgency of this matter, and would understand that it demands a direct response from the Minister. Moreover, the law. Where is the law on this? We know it is clear that the admission of this test broke the Data Protection Act, it broke the Ministry of Education, the Education Act, and it also broke all ethical standards for women. This is not a matter to push aside lightly as some small mistake. This is a very, very, very serious matter. And we have to handle it and address it in the seriousness it deserves. And society does not function without law and order and discipline, and the government will not be accustomed to law and order and discipline. And if they're not, we, the people of Barbados, will demand that there be law and order. Our children are important to us, and they will not be run roughshod over by this government, by the Jamaican Development Bank, by any organization. Furthermore, we have more questions than answers. We still do not know who authorized the test. We do not know how the test came into Barbados. Code or organs issued a statement denying that it was their test. The IDP has issued an apology. The government has still not said what is the purpose of this test and how this test is connected to the Inter-American Development Loan, or how this test is connected to the future of education in Barbados. So, this situation is a serious situation. It is not a simple, let a lesson we learn and we walk on by. Often Barbadians are deemed to have 7-day wonder issues, and they sweep the ideas that we're going to forget about this and we're going to be on to something else. Let us show that that is not a case from now, because this is too important. This is our trouble. The government has overstepped, the IAB has overstepped, the Prime Minister has overstepped. It is time that we demand action. It is time that we stand up for our little ones. It is time that we protect them, because if the government will not protect them, we will have to do our best. Now I can invite questions from
basically, we have been talking about this issue for the last Dr. Yo, we have been talking about this issue the last better part 3-4 years.
Yeah.
We were down Dr. Brassard's yesterday, where he pretty much made a sit-in. Basically, from an action-oriented perspective, should your call go unheeded for the ministers to come out and say this and give you the answers? Are there any further steps that the Democratic Party is prepared to go to get these answers and what we deem as justice for our nation's citizens?
I think the Democratic Party is prepared to support any sort of organized action in terms of markets or strikes. If it takes that we have to picket the Ministry of Education every day, tell them it takes responsibility for that, then we are prepared to support that. If there are groups out there, we will stand with them, we will stand with theirs, because this is not a Democratic Party issue. We are reflecting the views of our membership, we're reflecting the views of the country. We are here to provide leadership as possible. We're also here to stand relevant this country and the terrorists who are also aggrieved by this act. It is ridiculous at this point that we are holding and literally every hearing in this country is asking the minister to respond. You have the minister who's been elected by people of this country and is failing to do a simple task, come and have a conversation to explain what is the purpose of this test. Obviously now we still do not understand what is the purpose of the test, what's going to who is responsible for dropping the ball out. And it doesn't even matter at the point who specifically in the ministry is responsible. We know under the minister has to take final responsibility and accountability. We saw the Prime Minister trying to deflect for her friend and done so poorly, and therefore we're not letting this issue die. I want the issue of all parents. This cannot be one of those 7 months. Have to keep on it until the minister speaks. If that demand every day, they call the ministry, we send emails, we write. If we have to picket the ministry every morning, eventually she'll have to talk to us, because it's coming with 4 days before this entirely, and still not a word from the substantive minister, and still no clarity on the test or what they're going to do going forward. You start a weak, poor response from the minister, from the Prime Minister. Anyone who's involved in this area knows that Barbadians has an institutional review board where all these types of surveys have to go on. There's no need for any more committee. Committees are divergent tactics, and we follow such. Prime Minister needs to stand up, demand her minister do her job, and that would also require the Prime Minister to do her job.
Also, if I may ask you to put on your platform. What type of legal recommendations do you see leadership education ID facing and that situation that's there?
Well, first we can go to the Education Act to realize that the minister has failed in her duties and general functions of what the Minister's Education is supposed to be under Section 3 of that. We can then go to the Data Protection Act to realize under Section 8, the minister has also failed, and the ministry has also failed in terms of permission to survey money. So, in terms of the legal ramifications, we know that it's hard to sue international organizations because they're immune from suit. So, something like 7 years they see that immunity obviously does not have to extend to the government. Here it's our ability to pursue. I see legal advocates put out there that here should look at pursuing legal action depending on what they felt in terms of whether their child said what damage, whether there were other instances of trauma that are exhibited on the reality in the bottom line is children were harmed in this process, and I think we cannot get over that. This cannot be a simple, oh, it's just test. And I think the government's approach to this is really, really disappointing and disrespectful to what Barbadians. This is just one little incident. It's not children were harmed, and this has to be rectified in a way that is satisfiable to parents. It's not what the minister feels is a satisfactory answer, or not what one of the surrogates of the government comes up with how they're satisfied. What is your satisfaction? Parents need to be satisfied, and it has to be carried out. If you go into the Ministry of Education Act, there's actually a part of that which makes it clear that the education system has to take accountability of parents. Legal ground for parents to stand on, and my advice would be to seek legal advice and move from there as appropriate. This cannot rest, this cannot lie. Something has to happen. The Prime Minister and the Minister need to come and answer this, especially the Minister. If the Prime Minister is in control of her cabinet and in control of her minister, she can compel them to do this. That is how our system works. Obviously, there doesn't seem to be that relationship, that situation, because the minister is not here. Yet the Prime Minister was providing the appropriate cover yesterday at a press conference. Announced to the committee, thinking that they're going to let this. But they will not. This is not going to.
If you could switch gears quickly before I follow up there. One second. You just recently had a decision against one of the persons that ran on their Mexican public stuff. Pretty much from a party perspective, how does the party respond into what said in this regard?
The party supports Mr. Brown fully. I've said this before and we'll repeat it again. The current law that prohibits civil servants from being PRK. It's wrong what the government has done. I'm trying to see it. People regard this is a vision. Let us be clear. This is a brazen return. It's wrong what we've done. It's trampling the rights of citizens. Can and should be able to hold themselves to elected office. Mr. Brown has done nothing wrong wanting to service country and be a representative for the country, and he's being punished for it, and he should not have been punished. Furthermore, we know that there were other folks on the campaign. Why has no action been pursued against him? But you have singled out Mr. Brown and for punishment. It's wrong, and we call on all the authorities involved. We call on the president to use her offices as necessary to address this issue and to bring closure to this. You cannot have individuals hanging on for the last 6 months, and obviously they'll be hanging on for another 3 months. And if this case has to go all the way to the Caribbean Court of Justice, we will support Mr. Brown all of our technical legal expertise. What else do we need? Make sure that there's a resolution on his side. The law is on his side because there have been other cases in the Caribbean where such archaic laws regarding the fact that the service should not be involved in elected politics have been put aside, and the same should be done there. Furthermore, the minister and the chief education officer should not have pursued this. This is one of the situations where they should have let common sense contain. Obviously, the common sense did not contain. There was nothing to pursue here. They should not have done this. They should have realized that other folks were involved, put this aside, recognize that the laws are until we can change the law. Decide, you know what, that common sense, leave this one alone. The government split to change laws and rectify other situations. Why can't they come and simply change the law on this one? Because it's wrong, keeps people and good people out from politics, and as I said before, new politics needs new talent, needs new people, we need the skills of all Barbadians today.
Does this support that you speak on for the bottom shelter? This translate beyond moral support? What kind of support has?
No, they said he would give them the legal expertise for parties fully equipped with development of the councils and the academics and other lawyers in how in this case, has to be part of the survival also have his own counsel and his own advice, but he knows full well we are here for him and we support him all the way. We will not let him walk alone, we will not move him inside. Because that is not what starts. Yeah, I will hand over to my chairperson on education to offer some comments as well.
President, it's today one of all thanks for being here. We all know the reason we're here today, and that reason is we have some questions. We still have questions because there are never unanswered questions. And one of the questions that I have, the question that parents have been putting to me this morning, my phone rang, and someone said to me, I need to find out. And what we need to find out was this test given and question that the answer to that. I will not say it was speculation, but the parent assured me that this test can give an answer. So, why hasn't the ministry addressed this at this test before? They've said they're going to take battles from flight schools that is given to, but what about the other? What are the ramifications of that test, and where are those results? And if so, and it was given, which schools was it given to? Is the ministry aware that in order to their students, there must be grading something? And they're hearing all of the radio and everywhere, just like President just said, yes, that is also needed. And why is the minister distancing herself? I mean, everyone is calling for the minister to me. The issue here is we need to hear from you. Why are you not here? Why are you not answering the call? To speak to parents, to speak to guardians, to address this issue head on. Let's grab the goal by applying and address the issue. I think that this is actually a initiative. You should change the name from the Minister of Education to responsibility. Because at the end of the day, once the problem is mapping, it's different ministers, they all this together. Let's talk about school meals. Let's talk about these beautiful lunches that are then you will find the issue of national concern. And the question is, why are you distancing yourself? Now, the minister again, I think she needs to voice her concern on all these issues. She needs to reassure the children, she needs to reassure the parents, and she needs to rebuild that trust that we need to have media protection. Her job is to protect students and protect our educational system, and she's not going to ask. Children have to learn, they have to learn, and again, we need that common sense and decency that should be everything today. I thought we lost our decency. The PM said that she has accepted the apology given by the IB. But is it her? Is it for her to accept? It is not for her to accept, it's for the parents to accept, it's for the students to accept, it's for Barbadians to accept. And we need to know why should they accept it. Now, my question again goes back to this IB one. I asked months ago concerning this international development bank going 4 million others and trying to figure out, does this loan have other attachments to it that you're finding right here that says, because you're accepting our loan, then this is what we need to do for you. If that's the case, just tell us. Tell us. You're borrowing all this money for what purpose? Is it going to harm us at the end of the day? So there are a number of issues that are also left unaddressed. We have issues in schools. I got a phone call at the last week telling me that there's one particular secondary student where there's that is in a complete state of disrepair. 9 classrooms have been condemned. The teachers are upset. I mean, we need to address these issues again. Rats in the canteen. We have windows that are falling off, doors that are dropping off, roofs that are caving in, and all of this weeks after the reopening of school. Like, again, where is the Minister of Education? What is the Ministry of Education doing? what are given all these reports. So we need to address these issues and have all of these concerns here. So that is the reason we're here today. We're here to see what answers we can get. So please answer us. Let parents know. Talk to our teachers. Let them know, because again, we shut them out. This test was done and the children are actually, again, we are telling our teachers, we don't need you. We're at the ministry, we're in charge. So we're taking whatever you want to do, we're just doing it, and we don't need you, we don't need your input. So please, just come out, address these issues, and answer all these questions. And that's all we are asking. Because our children, they're our future, we need to make sure we take care of them. Please, thanks for that.
If I may ask one final question. No, being devil's advocate here, the Prime Minister, the leader of Parliament, has spoken on this. So therefore, and the ministry has issued this. Therefore, one can ask, why is there a pressing need for the substantive minister to address an issue that the Prime Minister herself has already addressed?
Well, first thing, you're not mean that it's actually a good question, because the first thing is the Prime Minister has not. That is why we're here, telling us that she's accepted the apology from the IADB. What does that have to do with parents who are still concerned? What does that have to do with teachers that are still concerned? Her acceptance of the apology does not matter to us at this particular point. What we need to understand is what went on, where the failings were, and the fact that the minister needs to take responsibility. Unless you're trying to tell me that the Prime Minister runs all the other ministries by herself, because then that's what we accepted. That can't be the case. The minister has a job to do. The minister should do it. The Prime Minister's word doesn't provide the last wish. She's not the Minister of Education. The Minister of Education came accountable to the one responsible. Let her face the fire. If she can't face the fire, get her petition. It's that simple. The reality is, Ms. Martin, for all her skills, this is not your job. And then the other question, if you are interjecting, that tells me that maybe you knew something about it. But that even makes the matter worse. Because when did the Prime Minister know about the test? Did the cabinet know about this? Was it involved or actually alone? Because something this big must have gone to cabinet. Did the entire cabinet know about this? What actually went on with this? And this is the reality here. And the more that they stay silent and then it drops of information, we're piecing a story together that does not spell well of competence. You guys are just pouring and said this already. There is a competence issue at the heart of this government. There's a competence issue with the minister, and it's a genuine competence issue. You see it in housing, you see it in roads, you see it in tourism, you see it in everything. Everything, there's some kind of apology, we can't get that done. We can't get that done. That wasn't done properly. Well, then if you're unable to do your job, the good and the honest thing to do is step aside and let somebody else do their job. What we have here from the Minister of Education is a demonstration of incompetence. There's no way to dress it down. And Barbadians have this thing about being Sunday polite. And maybe in any situation we could do Sunday polite. They can't do no time to do Sunday polite. Sunday polite for the side, we deal with anybody who is a threat or who poses a threat to our children. I take this person, as I said, if this was my son, let me tell you something, right? Somebody somewhere, I will be coming to them. Because there is no way that I would sit down and allow this to happen to my kid. And the reality is, what they've done, and Melissa has spoken about this, they have stolen an opportunity from parents. There's something personal about this as well. You have taken away the dignity from parents who wanted to talk to their children about these issues, who wanted the appropriate time in their space to introduce these issues to their kids and say, you know what, let's have a conversation about this. You have destroyed something sacred to a parent. Any parent watching this know what I'm talking about. Because we have milestones of parents. We have the first birthday, the second birthday, we have the preschool moment, we have the first day, we have that conversation that we have with our kids about birds and the bees. You have stolen it from them. You have destroyed something very sacred and very important to parents. And you have to take responsibility for that. Trying to brush this off with all the AAD give a apology. Signed by who? A faceless corporate organization, international agency. There was no personal listed. Who in the IAD issued that apology? The director, the president, board, who? Are we supposed to accept something like that? Is that what we're coming? Where is the respect for Barbadians and for our program? Zero respect. And then you're going to hold not even a press conference related to it, at the back of another press conference. Oh yeah, I accept the IAD apology. We're forming an ethics review committee. Nothing to see here, go home. No. On any other issue, maybe. But when it comes to our kids, no, this is not happening. Now tell someone in that government, especially the Minister of Education, gets up from her office, face the fire. If you're good enough to face the fire during elections and go beg for votes and knock on doors and go to parties and be seen, and when they're not school meals and school repairs and opening up a school, talk with lentils, you gotta be good enough to answer to this question. You can't. And I've seen commentary to the view that it's not a big deal, the questions ain't that bad, it's the things that we do with our children discuss them. No, that's not the issue. The issue at its core here is that we've done something that's broken the law. So there's a legal issue, we've broken the law, we've broken something sacred and moral, so that's the legal issue, there's a moral issue, and then you're not being accountable as you should be as a minister, which means if we tell you come in face week, your job is to put on your clothes, button up your shirt, and say, yes, Barbadian public, I am here. What do you want to know? That is your job. That is what we're put here for. Your job is not to send a boy on the radio to defend you. Your job is not to send the chief education officer on the radio to defend you. I did not elect the chief education officer, and I'm sure nobody voted for the boy that we sent on the radio. And when I last checked, the Prime Minister, Mali, is not the Minister of Education. She wants to revert that ministry, fine. But until that point, we want a different view. It's that simple. This is not hard, This is nothing hard. Real simple. And we can make this real easy, or we can make this real hard. It's up to them, Because I am a parent, I'm not letting this go. Tell you, do not let this go. Because you know what? They expect us to do Sunday polite. They expect us to go back to our homes, grumble behind our curtains, send 1,000 WhatsApps, sit on our hands, and everybody goes home hunky-dory as if nothing has happened. Some ethics committee, and what is more insulting, you come and you set up an ethics committee that we do not need. There's already a process for this kind of thing. That means that they didn't even put it through the process. That's even worse. This gets worse and worse every time you think about it. Because we don't need an ethics review committee to stop this from happening. There's already procedures in place, and if the Prime Minister or the Minister had taken the time to understand how research or anything beyond their nose works, then they would look that. It's that simple. So this is a small issue. This is not a small issue.
And all they're doing is calling on what the parents are asking for. The parents are very personal and we want to hear from the minister. So all they're doing is answering that call for them and asking the minister also to answer that call.
There's a point that you need to elaborate on though. You mentioned, I don't know if it's just anecdotal evidence that you have, but you asked a question about whether this test was administered before. Do you have, are you getting it from some credible sources that this has happened before?
That even makes the situation worse. How long is this thing going on?
So then was it really risky? I don't know. So it begs to ask, like I said, it keeps getting worse and worse. Getting whiter and whiter. Talk is getting different.
And furthermore, I understand that the government and the minister in particular may have been warned not to do things. So other folks saw and said, don't do this. So really, we just seem to be in a situation of cover and lies and spend. And we just want to know the truth. That's all. That's all parents want. They just want to know the truth They want to know how this is going to be fixed going forward and who is taking responsibility for this. And what sanctions will be put on the person that needs to take ultimate responsibility. And we know in our system that reliance will be used. That's just how our system works. If you don't like how the system works, change the concept. If you think that's something wrong, but for now, the minister, it's the buck stops at the minister. Anybody who understands how schools work, you know that the ministry will issue directives, and it's up to principals and the boards to carry out those directives. If you look at the Education Act, it is clear, there's a clear line of hierarchy, from the minister to the boards, the principals, and the principals are carrying out their jobs. Obviously, it's clear that once the test is being administered, it seems that some principals were very uncomfortable with it and they expressed their discomfort. But the reality is, this is part of the ministry. This is their responsibility. And there seems to be some other breakdown in communication or mismanagement or incompetence on the whole part of the system. But that is coming from the head. When we just looked at it, we just talked about the fact that we have reports from one school that said the roof is about to cave in, classrooms have been closed. We got a situation where two of our teachers, and especially master coach lab, are being hounded for just doing what their political rights allow them to do. You have the tax here. Last year you had the bad behavior. There just seems to be a trend. Let's first say the minister at this moment just seems to be what I call omniscience. I don't know. You're just being wondering what else is going to go wrong on the cable plan. Like what else can we say? Because at this moment, nothing seems to be working. What's happening with the education reform? If you want to write in this discussion, where is the report on education reform reports? Has anybody seen it? Is that also hiding and missing by Ms. McConnell? What else is going on? What's happening with the alleged reports coming from this school? Where one school, there was 9 classrooms allegedly being closed in the classroom in the Where did all of it occur? And you just had school starting late for repairs. Did you miss the fact that I was about to fall in? I don't understand how you miss it. What is so there obviously is an issue of competence, and it comes down to the fact that Ms. McConnell is obviously out of her depth. And if she is, maybe she should be replaced. And that's up to the Prime Minister to decide. So now we can shift the onus on the Prime Minister to also do her job. I will tell you what I would do if it was my minister. Sure. Because she definitely won't have a job on Monday morning. It is that simple. But that's me. And that's what's called leadership. And that's what I expect. You should do your job. Any other questions? Well, I want to thank you for coming out on your this beautiful Saturday evening. I want to thank the folks at home and online who are watching with us. As I said, we will continue to press for this issue. This is not a democratic or party issue, as Melissa said. We are getting the calls from parents. They are basically amplifying and giving voice to their voice. We have platforms of party. This is what political parties do. This is not about us, parents. It's about children. It's about protecting them from further harm. It's about ensuring that they get redress for parents. And we will continue to do so. We will continue to put pressure. As long as it takes, really, that's what this is about. So, and I ask you, all the parents at home, to join us. Do not let this be sunset when they wonder. This is about your children. You can see that there's a pattern of incompetence in the minister and the execution of her job. And we want to ensure that it's answered, and we want her the assurance somehow that this won't happen again. And if she fails to give that assurance, then it will be up to the Prime Minister to, as we say, a Prime Minister can appoint and a Prime Minister can. Thank you very much.